Welcome to the Nehemiah Business Lifecycle Podcast. I'm your host, Tsague. You will notice that the name of our podcast has changed because now we're Nehemiah Business Lifecycle Podcast versus e-community podcast. Same everything, except the emphasis now is around helping you, our viewers, navigate the different life cycles, right? So every guest we're going to be talking about what does that content or that guest has to do with helping you navigate the life cycle. Because our commitment is this: we want to help you grow your business. We want to help you begin a journey towards building a kingdom company. We want to help you move from one stage to the next, and we want to provide you with examples, with inspiration, with content, with resources to help you, whatever stage you're in, whether you are discovery, whether you are at succession, or anywhere in between, to be able to grow your business to the next level. We have a special guest with us today, actually three of them, but one is here and he's on time, and he's the Kenyan. Let the record show that the one that was on time was not the French guy, was not the Mexican, but was Kenji. Kenji, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Patrice. Happy to be here.
Well, you guys all know Kenji. As a matter of fact, Kenji, you were actually, we were a client of yours when we launched this podcast. So you are actually the producer, architect of this podcast. How do you feel to be back home, man?
Wow, it feels good. First, as I was just telling you earlier, I had missed the community. The good thing about when you're in touch and when you're connected to the community, it never leaves you. It never leaves you. So I just feel at home, and I'm happy to be here, Patrice. Thank you even for the invite.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, we're doing this global forum coming up on marketing with Michael
Yeah.
Pink, and we thought, who best than our three best when it comes to marketing, which is yourself, Naomi, and Emil, so that we
Yeah.
can get some. Michael is, I wouldn't say old, and Michael is older, right? You guys are the young ones coming down, so you guys believe in breakouts to really help people go deep. But before we get into it, though, Kenji, let's make sure our guest knows who you are.
Right.
So Kenji, tell me about yourself in terms of your business, where you're from, and what gives you the uh, what gives you the credibility to be able to talk about marketing sales today.
Right. So, as Patrice has just mentioned, my name is Kenji. I'm from Nairobi, Kenya, and I run a digital marketing agency by the name Bauer Connect. Fun fact is, Nehemiah was our first client once we made a transition. So I'm always indebted to Patrice. He believed in me even before he saw anything.
You were a young lad, my friend. You were a young lad.
I, I still am, but I just feel like at that point in time, I had nothing to show. Because we were just starting out. I was from a previous engagement, and you believed in me. You're like, you know what, Kenji? You say you can do this job. How about you take it on? Let's see where you can take this. And I developed great interest in building not just digital strategies for mission-led organizations, but I've even gone deeper into learning the mechanics of running campaigns, building funnels, the whole email marketing, telling the narrative and stories around mission-led organizations, because that's where I felt my inclination is. So what gives me the right? I believe first is the heart for marketing and telling stories, and also just being a digital enabler in this space. Yeah.
Wow, amen. And then we have his other compadre, Naomi. Naomi is from Paris. Naomi is still one of our marketing consultants. He supports us in all things social media. Naomi, tell me a bit about your company and about yourself, and what gives you the credibility to talk about this topic.
Yeah. Hi guys. Hi from Paris. Like Patrice said, I'm Nehemiah, and I'm a biblical entrepreneur since 2019. I remember meeting Patrice here in Paris when he came and to teach us the principle on the entrepreneurship and based on Bible. I was amazed by everything, but the thing that is was burning in my heart when he was explaining entrepreneurship was marketing, because I find something really funny in marketing. It's like a game of seducing someone, finding a strategy to touch his heart, to touch also his his money, and also I find it very very challenging and a great game. And after that, I started my entrepreneurial journey by building my own company called Nem Studio. Is a It is uh, a marketing agency specialized in event marketing right now. Because you know, when you launch your own business, you are going through a lot of different steps. What we are learning in the life cycle, the business life cycle. I went through that, and at the first stages, I was learning how to specialize myself in a thing, because marketing is very, very large. We have a lot of topic inside of it, and my special my the thing where I'm expert, if I can say that, is on creating a universe around a brand, around a story. That's the thing that I love the most, and that's the thing that my team and I working on, and we are also helping Nehemiah on that topic. And yeah, that's a bit what I can say.
I love it. So Kenji really help us start this podcast, or at least enhance it. You know, bring it. You want to brought it to StreamYard, Kenji, and then
Yeah.
Nemi. This is your new baby. This is your branding. So if you guys like this new brand, this is Nemi's work. So Nemi, hopefully we're gonna have a new video as well that will you
Yeah,
introduce, right?
we are cooking it.
I love it. I love it. Now, you both have something in common. You not only both have worked with Nehemiah, and Nehemiah you still do, but you both, when you both came into biblical entrepreneurship, you had other businesses. You had partnership. And due to biblical entrepreneurship, the class, you guys dissolved your partnership, or at least left your partners and started something afresh. So you guys
Mm.
went from being, I don't know, startup or break even in another business with other partners, or even some of you may even profit, but I don't know, to going to be, and as a result, getting back to discovery and starting something brand new. So let's start there. By the way, the reason we're doing this podcast because we we're going to have a global forum coming up on April the 24th with Michael Pink, Kenji, Naomi, and Yamil. And that global forum is going to be around the marketing and sales from a biblical perspective, from a kingdom perspective. And these gentlemen will be leading breakout session where they're going to help. Michael will kind of give the talk in the general, myself and Michael both, and then you'll get into breakout where you get to spend time with these guys about going deeper in terms of how to really address your business from a kingdom perspective. And they'll be dealing it from a social media, digital marketing perspective. I mean, so you're
Mm.
going to have three great entrepreneurs who help companies, including us around the world, in their digital strategy. Spend some time with them in learning how to improve your digital strategy. So if you've not yet signed up for the Global Forum, make sure you sign up today. Just go to nehemiahecommunity.com on the events page and sign up, or just click that link and you can sign up for it and join us on April the 24th of that Global Forum with Michael Pink, Kenji, Naomi, and Emil, and myself. So let's talk about it. So you guys, you have a business with partners and that you co-founded, and
Yeah.
you're in the B class, and you choose to end your partnership, leave the business, and start something new. Let's start with you, Naomi, because you were in BE, I think, first before Kenji. So what led to that, and how was that experience like?
Yeah, the experience was really crazy because first my story with biblical entrepreneurship started really hard because I wasn't expected to start that training, and just my father woke me up and say, okay, we're going to a training session about entrepreneurship with a man called Patrice Tsague, and I was okay, 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 and I started something. And talking about that story, I was working beside or a partnership with two great friends that I still have, that was working with me, and I met them into my cinema school because I was studying at that time. And when I met them, God told me very precisely that they are the person that I want you to work with. So I was driven by God, and I was pretty sure that I had to work and go further with them, very far in business. And I was also the only Christian in that trio.
Wow.
So I was the only one believing in God and saying to the others, God will push us very far. We are going to do big things. God has big projects for us. And then I was starting this class. And one of the things that I really loved with biblical entrepreneurship is that above learning new skills, learning a few things around entrepreneurship, marketing, sales, and things. The thing that I loved the most was that proximity, that relationship that I was building with God in life when I was doing the session and the classes.
Mhm.
Um, I was getting closer and closer and closer to God. And during the session, the classes, I was understanding well what God was expecting from me. And when I learned all of that, I understood that God wanted to place me in another way than working with them. It was the season that it was saying to me, okay, that's the end. And uh, maybe some people can ask me the question, how God to you to say to you that it was the end? How did you know that it was the end? And one of the reasons that I knew that it was the end, it is because there was a few signs. Like for example, the name of the business that we had before was called also Nem Studio because I started the business before them and I
Wow.
included them inside of my business. And they accept that the first year, second year, third year, they accepted that. And there was a moment where there were partnership and accepting contracts that wasn't matching with my values. And it came that moment that it was the first sign. The other sign was that uh, uh, um, people came into their mind saying, oh, how you could have a name like Nem's Studio. It looks like it is name is business, and you are just the assistants and things. So many things came to their mind, and they were thinking this way, saying, oh, Nami, that's your own business. We want to stay three, but we want to rename everything. We want to. So at this moment, I understood that Jesus wanted to say something. And I asked my parents, and they were saying that, sometimes God can speak in a way, and sometimes He can speak in another way. And this way, at this time, He was saying, okay, that's the end of the road in that partnership. But that's not the end of your friendship, but that's the end of your partnership in business. I want you to go in another way. And it linked perfectly with what I was learning at the classes. And in B classes, I was creating a new business, keeping the name that God gave me, and but renewing the strategy, renewing the different steps, the different targets and things. And in a week, I think God helped me to rebuild a vision. And right now, I have my own business. I'm the only partner in the business, the only associate. And I still have them as friend, but it was really hard at this time to come to them and say, okay, God, the same God that told me that we are going to go really far together, the same God is saying to me right now that I have to go by myself. So it was hard, but they understood. And right now, we're still friends, and it happened well. They have their own business, still doing the same thing that we were doing before. They changed the name, and they are really successful in what they're doing, but we are not together yet.
Wow, that says a whole lot there, and I could unpack it. I'd love to have you back on the podcast, just talk about it, Naomi, because how do you make that transition while preserving the relationship? That takes a lot of skills and maneuvering, and there's a whole lot there. So you were able, based on your conviction, going back to we talking about marketing and sales from a kingdom perspective. So your first thing is because the business, though you founded it, you brought
Mm,
us partners, the business was, and they were not believers, so you were unequally yoked, and the business was moving in a direction
mm,
that was not consistent with your values. And then second, there was some jealousies about the name,
yeah.
and so that's what God used to kind of, and then you did it in a way that you preserved the friendship, though you let go of the business. That's a lot there. Listen, if you want to ask Nemi more about that, you can reach out to him. He's on the e-community platform. Reach out to him. There's a lot there. Let's go to you, Kenji. By the way, Yamil, welcome. I'll come to you in a minute. Yamil, welcome. So Kenji, you had a similar incident, but except in your case, it actually was with
Yeah.
family, I think.
Actually, that was the second time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Let me just say I've been scarred a couple of times, but a cat has 9 lives. So uh, I've survived a lot of, let me say, grueling partnerships. But it's more or less the same as Naomi's story. The thing is, I believe things don't go wrong; things start wrong, and that was where it started. The foundation was cracked. And you know what's interesting is I've done so many entrepreneurship programs, but this particular one, when I did BE, when I did biblical entrepreneurship, I just felt that there was light in me and more clarity in terms of why am I actually in business. And I started to understand that all these resources in terms of my time, talent, and treasure is meant to all serve God. And so I think I used to live my life as a dichotomy, so I live my life as a believer here, and then I have my business life. So that's what started now. Now I started to get more or less the revelation around why I'm doing business, and I realized that I'm also unequally yoked. And thanks to Frankie Tonga, he coached me very, can I say, personally, but at the same time very respectfully. He knew this was my bread and butter,
Mm.
so he didn't come and just demolish everything, but he helped me understand that there were some areas, some gray areas in my business that I needed to address. And of course, God's conviction. And I'm glad because again, if two can't agree, how are we going to build something? Even the Tower of Babel, God looked at the people and noticed if these guys agree, they will achieve everything they've desired to do. So for me, I thought if I have a cracked foundation, this is the best time to just drop, leave, and rebuild. So yeah, that's how I started off. And thank you again, Patrice, for believing in us and giving us a chance. Yeah,
That is so powerful. You made two statements that I want to repeat. Things do not go wrong. Things start wrong,
right.
right? Look at your foundation and then the power of agreement. How can two
Yeah.
walk together lest they agreed? I mean, great foundational stuff. I almost wish that your breakout was going to be on helping people deal with these things, right? Because if these things aren't addressed, marketing and sales is not going to help you. right?
Absolutely.
Because you don't have that alignment. The worst thing in the world is to grow a business, get a lot of customers for a business that's not built on the right foundation. Would you guys agree?
I agree. A hundred
With
and
that,
ten.
let's go to Yamil. Yamil has his own experiences with different businesses. So Yamil, before we first tell the audience a bit about who you are, where you're from, and what your business and what gives you the credibility to talk about this topic, marketing and sales. What about Yamil gives allows him to provide value to the members around this area?
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Jam Rosales. I'm from Mexico, and I run a marketing agency alongside my wife. That it's called Uhuru. We are currently serving business here in Mexico and some business in the US that actually came from the Nehemiah community relationship. So Nehemiah community has been great in terms of establishing like partners all over the world and to discover people to work with the same values and the same perspectives. So, what brings authority? Oh, wow, that's a hard question. I'm going to take from what Kenji was saying, and because he was telling that when you start wrong, well, things can be a little bit difficult, and that's something that actually happened to me. I came from a Christian environment. My parents are pastors, and I think that I always like grew up knowing that I had to be a good Christian. Not that I was, that I had to be a good Christian. And life put me in places where I work, and the result of my work was sales, was clients. I started with a music school, and everything was going great. But as he was saying, when you don't build on the foundation, things can go wrong. And Patrice was really helpful. He has been a witness of everything that has been happening with us the last 2 years. But God put us in a place where we had to rebuild. I remember that it was December 2000. It was December 2022. My wife was pregnant. I was dealing with bankruptcy. I was dealing with losing at a music school that I work at 10 years, and it was crazy because at that moment I remember that I was really, really depressed, and I was like, how am I supposed to support my wife, to support my new child with a 10-year company broke and have to restart again? I remember that at that time I have conflict with my partners, and I leave the 10-year project with just a desk. That was all that I got from 10 years. And I remember to be on my, I was renting a small room, really, really small, just a room and a bathroom. That was it. And I remember that I was feeling that I lost everything, because indeed I lost everything. And I had to realize that the only thing that I didn't lose was 10 years of experience. It
Wow.
was, you have a chance. You don't have anything, but nobody can take from you what you have learned. And for me, marketing and sales, it's actually a pretty delicate topic, because when you offer to other clients, you have actually to sell for others. So there's a challenge sometimes of selling for yourself, and now selling for other people, that's a true challenge. But what I did was commit to my skills, try to identify the same thing as you do in a business. You do a SWOT analysis. You try to figure out what you're best and what you're not. Organize everything, develop a plan. I try to remember everything that Nehemiah told me. And the most important stuff: don't put excuse. analyze the market, establish a plan, start working, and go out to the street to gather clients. Sometimes I think that business want it easy. They want to like have clients and open doors, and the clients arrive. And no, actually, the people that's actually think now that the people that sell needs to go out in the streets, take advantage of their skills, and bring the sales. We need to make stuff happen. So I'm currently like in a year. We are my wife and I built a business that it's now getting profitability in 1 year. Everything it hasn't been easy, but now I can prove to my clients that it's possible to rebuild in a year, and we're having like really good results. I'm celebrating because last month I made a client win $500,000 with our with 5% of investment, and it was like, yeah, it's possible. It's possible. So for me, it was like, yeah, this is possible just by hard working and analyzing where you want to be, and developing a plan. So I think it's all about organization, and it's all about of working hard, and it's not always easy, but that's a little bit of my story.
Wow, that is incredible. I love it. You made a statement. You lost everything except for the experience. And that's powerful because what you learn, failure is not a problem for the entrepreneur. The problem is if you don't learn from the failure, right? Because what you walk away with is the experience, and that's more valuable. As a matter of fact, I was talking to a venture capitalist one time. I said, "What do you look for in investing in business? What's the key criteria?" He said, "Failure." He said, "I look for people who have failed and got up again." Because remember this, the key criteria for success in business, it's not skill, it's not talent, it's not capital, it's not technology, it's not even ideas. It's perseverance, right? It's perseverance. You know, in the investment world, they say they said investors don't invest in the they invest in the jockey and not in not the call it not a horse, but what's the jockey rides, what the jockey rides, right? They invest in the jockey. So many times we focus on everything else, but except you are the person that they're investing in. Will you persevere? No matter how great your marketing skills, no matter how great your sales skills, if you don't have perseverance, if you're not able to do what Emil did, what Kenji did, what Nehemiah did, you won't be successful. Guys, for the rest of our time, I want to break it in two parts. We only have about maybe 10 more minutes because so Nehemiah, Kenji, and Emil, they're going to be with us at the Global Forum on April the 14th. I'm April the 24th. I want you to join us because we're going to have Michael Ping with us. And then they're going to do 3 breakouts where they're going to go drill deeper into how to improve your marketing sales strategy from a biblical perspective. These are experts that serve clients all over the world that will be sharing with us, with you, how to really improve your marketing sales from their own person. They're entrepreneurs as well, right? Let's see. So, Yamil, you say your business was at profitability stage, right? Kenji, what stage of your business? Is it discovery, startup, break even, profitability, scalability, sustainability?
No, now we are break even.
Break
Now we are
even.
break.
Where are
Yeah.
you? Where are you, Nemi?
Same break even. We reached that step.
Perfect. So they're in those steps stage right there. Why is that important? Because and I'm sure you work with clients who are at different stages, right? You have clients that are in startup, you have clients that are in break even, clients that are in profitability, clients that are in sustainability, right? You have clients at different stages.
Yeah.
And based on the stage they're in, the marketing strategy you recommend to them is different, right? Different for we have time here we could drill into, but we do not. So also need to note, NAMI also run the Nehemiah Entrepreneur Community Center in France. So if you're in France or in Europe and you want to get into biblical entrepreneurship or become a part of the community, his team can help you there. They also do things in French. And Yamil runs the Nehemiah Entrepreneur Community Center in Mexico. If you are in Mexico, Latin America, South America, you want to be a part of the Nehemiah community, reach out to Yamil and his team. They also can support you there. And of course, Kenji is a part of the Nairobi Center, which is in Kenya. So if you're in Kenya or Africa, you want to be join the community, you can connect with them as well. So the globe is represented here. So again, if you've not yet signed up for the global forum, go to Nehemiah Entrepreneurs, NehemiahEcommunity.com, the events page, and there you can find this event and sign up for it. NehemiahEcommunity.com on the events page. Master Kago, good to see you. Thank you for joining the conversation. So, guys, let me ask you this question. So, the first question is: so this is a right now a tough time around the world. There's inflation, there's
Mhm.
uncertainty with the wars happening. Ukraine, the Arab country, with Israel and Hamas. You have places like in Haiti where you have civil unrest, right? There's all these things happening. So, how does one approach marketing and sales in this kind of uncertain environment? What's one at a time in 1 minute or less? Each of you, what's the one thing if you say, "Hey guys, consider this"? What would that be? Let's start with you, Kenji. What's that one thing you would say?
Yeah. So first, I'd say adopt an abundance mindset,
Mhm.
regardless of everything that's happening. I'll tell you, this is not the first time that we have been in war. So there are opportunities that are actually happening in spite of all this. And then take advantage of the developments. There's no better time to be doing marketing and running your business like today. We're in the age of AI. We have the internet where you can source different labor from different markets, get the best talent from everywhere. Don't just focus on what's going wrong. You can actually turn that adversity into opportunities. So for me, I'd say leverage on all these new developments and let it reduce your cost of marketing, because these tools and the technology is available to anyone.
Oh,
And that way you can get ahead in your marketing game. Yeah.
Naomi, what's your response?
Yeah, my response will be, marketing is about stories. And during that hard time, your story still counts for your clients. You still have a huge story to sell. And regarding the context and the environment we have, you still have to create your own environment, regardless of the wars and the difficulties that you still have. That's the points that is a little bit hard. Is like, I have this example of a theater. You still have to play when in the background you have kind of problems. You still have to play your role, regardless of the different hard times that you can have in the background. So you still have to write your story, but you can rewrite it, and include the context or adapting yourself to the context. And we have a lot of strategy in which you can adapt depending on your domain. I don't know where you are, if you are in real estate, or depending on the society you have, you can readapt yourself and readjusting your strategy in marketing and rewrite your story. It's like a writer that can erase a part to arrange it and to readapt it, for the context. And I like a little example that I have from my father, who is also a pastor, and is all the time saying that he's saying to me, Bible, you have to readapt it when you're preaching. Readapt it to the context, readapt it to the people you have in front of you, readapt it to the country where you're preaching. And the marketing is a little bit the same. It's like a preach. You have to readapt it, and looking after the context, looking after the people you have in front of you, and also look after the time and the political context that you have. So I would like to say that, do your own preach with your business.
Oh, I love it. Yamil, what would you say? What was your response to this?
I will say that don't confuse marketing with promotion.
Mhm.
Promotion, and speaking about your product or service, is just on a small part. Remember that it's about product, place, price, and finally the promotion. So in the speaking about that, it's make sure that the product actually, or what you're selling actually solves a problem. There's a lot of people that only want to sell stuff but don't do the proper market research to confirm that actually what they are selling it's helping somebody. There's a great CEO of the one of the largest pharmaceuticals here in Mexico called Rodrigo Herrera, that says that you need to guarantee that what you're saying it's a problem that is going to last forever. So, for example, in my case, social media, AI, stuff like that are just tools, and it's good to be always like updated with those. But they are just tools. The real need for business it's making sales. So as long as you focus on a long-term problem, you're going to have job, and a powerful product that actually solves problems, that actually understands the target market. It's better than any social media content piece that you can do or any strategy. If you became somebody that fixes problems, that's going to be your major asset to make sales and to promote your business.
Oh, I love it, guys. I could talk to these guys all day long, but listen, next week on April 24th, you'll be able to have access to them live in living color at the Global Forum. I want to make sure you sign up. Go to nehemiahecommunity.com/events, and there you can pick Global Forum and you can join us there, or you can just click that link right there. Guys, one last question before you guys leave. So before we do, so if you want to know more about the Nehemiah entrepreneurship community and how you can be a part of this community, how we can come alongside you and grow your businesses, go to nehemiahecommunity.com. There you learn about our training program from biblical entrepreneurship to identity and destiny. You learn about our coaching program from one-on-one to group coaching. You learn about our access to capital, how we can partner with you to connect you with investors that can invest into your business. You learn about our membership, how you can become a part. And membership does have its privileges. We have over 3,200 members from around the world, from Asia to Africa to Europe to Latin America to North America. Our members are bilingual. They speak French, English, Kiswahili, Mandarin Chinese. You can be a part. So join this community so that you can be in community with other entrepreneurs who share your values, who are walking together along the life cycle journey of growing their businesses, no matter what stage your business is in. Whether it's in discovery, you're thinking about starting a business, whether you are in a startup, you've launched active revenue, if you're broken even, if you are profitability, you're creating margin, if you are sustainability, your business be run by system and people in the right position. If you're scalable, you're expanding. If you are at succession and exit, where you're transitioning, whatever stage you are in, this community is about working with you to help you take your business to the next level. Guys, one last question. Why should they enroll and register for this global forum? What's the one promise you can give them that if they come next week, they'll walk away with? Let's start with you, Emil.
Um, I think that Nehemiah brings a challenge that it's not enough to do business. It's doing business the right way
Mhm.
and God's way. So what you're going to learn, it's not just experience and skills from the best in the world. It's going to be people where you can feel related to to their core values and their impact on society. So what I loved in Nehemiah about Nehemiah, and it goes more around any event, it's that the people are true professionals with great stories that has been into success, into struggles, and going deep into their business and can teach you a lot from experience, but that also had the wisdom to build their business on the rock, always trusting God's values, always trusting what it's the most value of being a human, that it's being a child of God. So don't miss the opportunity to actually engage with professionals that actually can also preach in the marketplace and prove that it's possible to be a kingdom business with true profit, with true growing, and supporting God's business and our purpose on earth.
Oh, I love it. Come next week and you'll experience that. Go to nehemiahecommunity.com/events. Pick Global Forum Market and Sales from a biblical perspective. You experience what Yemil just said. Kenji, what's the one promise you give them if they come next week, they'll experience?
So there are many things, but one thing is we are living in a world full of so much noise, and Christians have lost their voice. And in this particular forum, I'll help you get back your voice.
Ooh.
And it's all about understanding the biblical principles. Even in the midst of clutter, you still can stand out. So it's a game of attention. So come and learn some tricks and tips, pro tips from a community that you can lean on. First, that's one thing. And we have shared values, and we are biblically approved or sound. Let me just say sound. Yes. So I'll see you on the 24th. I'm looking forward to connect with you.
I love it. Hey, go to nehemiahecommunity.com/events. Pick the Global Forum coming up. You will get what Kenji just experienced. Last but not least, Yamil, what can they experience next week? What's the one promise you give them?
I think that Amy goes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's a Yamil Mimi.
Yeah, the
brother, we look alike.
I know.
others. Yeah, one thing really important that I wanted to say, we have a lot of things and hundred of response to give to say you should come, but one of the image when I think about the global forum and particularly this one is that entrepreneurship is like a race and a long race, and for some people is like a 100 meters race and they go faster and then at the end they are off. Other things like entrepreneurship can be kind of marathon that you have to run and run and run and run and run. But the image that I have with Nehemiah and that huge community, it is that entrepreneurship become kind of relay race. So you give the hand to your brother and you give, and when you're tired the other is running for you, and we're helping each other to run the right race and to push each other um, to give the best. And I think that's the most important for us. You have experts, you have some people that have the experience that can give you the help that you need, the right advice that you're looking for, and also you can be connected to God. As I experienced in the class, in that community we are living the Holy Spirit and we are really connecting to God, and that's, I think, the most important for us children of God.
Wow. Come next week, go to nehemiahecommunity.com, nehemiah.com, where you can get what Naomi just promised you. Guys, before you leave, so Kenji is with Bauer Connect. Kenji, how do they get in touch with you? What's your web address?
That's bauer.co.ke, bauer.co.ke, or you can find me on LinkedIn, Kenji Kirimi.
Awesome. You can get in touch with Kenji. Naomi, what's your web address? How do they connect with you?
Yeah, you can find us on our web address. That's Nem Studio. So NEHMS studio.com. And you can also find us on Instagram, LinkedIn, and other platforms.
Awesome. And Yamil, what's your web address? How do they connect with you?
You can reach us in all social media: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever you use, as uhuru.mx. It's UHURU.mx.
I love it. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being willing to help us raise the bar for every one of our entrepreneur community members on the area of marketing and sales. Looking forward to being with you guys, as well as Michael Pink next week. Guys, listen, if you enjoy this podcast, I want you to share it. I want you to share it. You know someone in your circle, in your sphere of influence, that needs help in the area of marketing and sales. that need encouragement, to hear from stories of three entrepreneurs who have had failures and setbacks, who persevered. One from Africa, one from Mexico, one from France, to show that no matter where you are around the world, there's the same God, and we're able to overcome whatever situation. So if you want to encourage somebody in your network, share this with them. Share in your social media platform. Friends, share with friends that which they like and enjoy. So push this out so you can encourage your friends to along their journey in business from God's perspective. With that, let me pray for you. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord enable you to steward those talents that are under your care, and to steward them in such a way that one day you'll hear those wonderful words, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a few things." Guess what? He'll make you rule over many things. God bless you. Follow us on social, whether it's LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook, or Instagram. Looking forward to seeing all of you guys at the Global Forum next week. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, guys.
You guys.
Thank you, Patrice. Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys. See ya.